This is the FBI. We have a warrant. You need to come to the front door with your hands up.
British boxing champion Anthony Joshua is recovering after being involved in a deadly car crash in Nigeria. Local authorities say Joshua sustained minor bruising in Monday's crash. The crash comes just days after Joshua won a big match against Jake Paul.
Grimacing in pain, Anthony Joshua is pulled from the wreckage of a crumpled SUV, having narrowly escaped death.
Jake Paul has reportedly been taken into FBI custody after his name became linked to a deadly car crash that nearly claimed the life of Anthony Joshua. The boxing world is now in total chaos. Just days after Joshua embarrassed Paul in the ring, a horrific crash in Nigeria left 2 members of Joshua's inner circle dead. Now, with federal investigators digging deeper, Paul finds himself under intense scrutiny. When a global superstar survives, his closest allies don't. And the man he just defeated suddenly ends up facing the feds. It no longer feels like coincidence. It feels like a dark mystery the world isn't prepared for.
A world heavyweight champion visibly in pain as he is helped from the wreckage after this horror crash that killed 2 people. Anthony Joshua was injured and taken to hospital.
What should have been a quiet post-fight celebration quickly descended into chaos. In an instant, a luxury SUV carrying Joshua and his inner circle became the scene of a nightmare. One moment, they were smiling, laughing, and soaking in the victory. The next, the celebration turned to horror bodies sprawled on the asphalt, and sirens pierced the night.
He was travelling in, hit a stationary truck on a busy highway in Nigeria. The British boxer is on holiday in Africa following his win over American boxer Jake Paul.
What makes this incident so hard to believe? Joshua was just a passenger, traveling in a high-end SUV on a road every occupant knew well. What should have been a routine, controlled trip erupted into chaos with deadly results. Authorities cited speed and loss of control, but the details emerged slowly, in scattered fragments, gaps that only fueled unease and let suspicion fester in the silence.
That have emerged online that show him sitting behind the driver's seat with his top off, surrounded with glass, broken glass.
That was the moment the internet exploded. A global superstar walks away with barely a scratch, while 2 of his closest allies are killed instantly. The crash comes just days after a humiliating high-stakes fight that shattered reputations and put millions in future earnings at risk. Suddenly, this isn't just a tragic accident. It feels eerily timed, wrapped in quiet briefings and surrounded by questions no one seems willing to answer. The deadly incident occurred on December 29th, 2025, along the Lagos-Ibadan motorway near Makun in Ogun State, a notorious stretch of road known for fatal accidents.
Crash happened on December 29, 2025, on the Lagos-Ibadan motorway near Makun in Ogun State, a stretch of road known for deadly accidents.
It'd be crazy if all of the fighters who fight Jake Paul end up befalling some sort of terrible tragedy.
Then came the line that changed everything. Amid the chaos, Jake Paul allegedly joked that Joshua didn't follow the script, and that single remark ignited the internet like a wildfire. Some dismissed it as typical boxing bravado, but others sensed something far more disturbing. Overnight, the conversation shifted. People weren't just debating punches, they were dissecting every word, every tone, every timing, searching for hidden intent.
As news broke, shock rippled through Joshua's hometown community in Nigeria. Adamamala Joshua, the uncle of Anthony Joshua's father, said the news came as a great shock.
Definitely, it was a shock for us. So he has been coming. At least he comes not less than 3-4 times in a year. So that was not the first time of his coming home. So he comes regularly. I applies that road regularly. So they are very conversant with that road. So it was a great shock for us.
From that moment, the story took on a life of its own. Screenshots, old interviews, fiery pre-fight exchanges, and long-forgotten clips began resurfacing as fans tried to piece together a narrative far bigger than the fight itself. Commentators questioned why that phrase even emerged, why it hit at that exact moment, and why it sounded less like hype and more like raw frustration spilling over.
It's that of great love for this man, because he's a man of the people. He's very close to the grassroots. It's not the type that goes about with security guard when he comes around. All the people are very close to him, and he too is very free among the people. So it met.
And once that seed was planted, speculation didn't crawl, it raced. The crash, the silence, the comment, the timing all merged into one question reverberating across social media. Was this just careless words from a bruised ego, or the first crack in a story that was never meant to leave the ring?
Joshua was in Nigeria following his knockout victory over YouTuber turned boxer Jake Paul less than a fortnight ago, who posted online saying he's praying for those who lost their lives and for his former adversary. Joshua posted this on Instagram playing table tennis with Latif Ayodele just hours before the incident.
This is where logic begins to give way to perception. When enough strange events cluster around a single name, coincidence no longer feels accidental. Health crises, financial collapses, careers vanishing overnight, each incident different on paper, yet emotionally tied in the same digital story. The narrative stopped being about evidence and became about inevitability, the kind social media thrives on, amplifying every shadow and whisper.
The car he was travelling in collided with a stationary truck pictured here in photos taken by the authorities. After his latest victory, what should have been a moment of celebration has instead become one of tragedy.
And that's where it gets dangerous. Once people start seeing a pattern, every new tragedy feels scripted. Every explanation seems rehearsed. Every denial comes too late. At that point, the facts no longer shape the story. Momentum does. And momentum has already decided. This is bigger than one crash, bigger than one fight.
Sagamu, which is where Joshua has relatives. Of course, he fought 10 days ago in Miami, and he was heading home to Nigeria, where he was brought up. Well, he went to boarding school anyway for the new year.
Right after the crash, something felt off. When a global fight pulls in tens of millions, spans international travel, private logistics, digital contracts, and high-profile rivalries, any serious incident tied to it instantly becomes bigger than sport. That's the line where entertainment ends and federal interest begins.
As everybody shouts, Anthony Joshua, means you are good there. Everybody just do picture. So many everybody no shout, say they no loud down. So some people loud down. Every say they go see star, they no go shout.
Behind the scenes, whispers began. Timelines, messages, and business fallout tied to the fight itself. Things fans never see, but investigators always notice. This was no longer about punches. It was about what happened around the fight, after the fight, and because of the fight. And as those questions emerged, Jake Paul's name started appearing uncomfortably close to the critical timeline.
In hours, social media users revived a bizarre theory, one that has circulated before, now being called the Jake Paul curse.
Here's where the story takes a sharp turn. Money. The fight was never just entertainment. It was a financial web of guarantees, bonuses, endorsements, betting exposure, and future deals, all set in motion the moment the final bell rang. When one side loses big, the ripple spreads through contracts, creating pressure in places fans rarely, if ever, see.
That fighters who defeat Jake Paul later suffer serious misfortune. Joshua's crash, coming days after his victory over Paul, reignited the theory and pushed it into viral territory.
Behind closed doors, discussions reportedly shifted from celebration to containment. Sponsors questioned optics, insurers combed through clauses, and partners quietly asked if any fallout could put them at risk. That's when timelines were dissected, messages preserved, and every off-camera interaction suddenly became crucial.
Wouldn't it be crazy if Mike Tyson almost died before the fight? He had 8 blood transfusions, lost half his blood from a bleeding ulcer in the hospital for weeks. Obviously today, it'd be crazy if Anthony Joshua was involved in a fatal car crash where 2 of his friends are now dead.
And this is why the crash stopped being seen as an isolated tragedy. When financial stakes collide with reputational damage, coincidences no longer feel innocent. The focus shifts away from punches and onto one question: who suffered the biggest losses when everything went off course?
Gets into a car accident, 2 people die right after Jake Paul said he didn't follow the script. I'm kind of lost. What script? Was it just boxing, or was there something else going on?
Even as official explanations emerged, the story refused to settle. Clips, screenshots, old interviews, and offhand remarks resurfaced at lightning speed, each reframed to fit a growing narrative far bigger than any single event. Every new piece of content added fuel, stretching the timeline backward and forward, placing the crash at the center of something far more ominous. What made it especially volatile was how quickly public perception hardened. Once people decided the sequence felt off, every update was filtered through suspicion. Routine explanations sounded rehearsed. Standard procedures seemed strategic. Silence didn't calm, it amplified curiosity. The internet stopped waiting for answers and began writing its own version in real time.
A reaction there out of Jake Paul, but when he gets caught with his hands down and his chin served on a platter for that right hand right there. And look at Jake Paul's face. He knew it right away. He said, woo!
Hey guys, I'm okay. Just pray for me, all right?